And welcome back. We have an interesting interview for you here today. Have you ever wondered what happens to all of that luggage that goes missing? Well, the business that ends up with some of it is stopping in Salt Lake City this week. The store Unclaimed Baggage was started 50 years ago, and they're commemorating the big anniversary with a national tour. So joining us via Zoom today is Sunny Hood. She's the Public Relations and Community Involvement Coordinator at Unclaimed Baggage. Sunny, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, what an interesting job you have. We're going to get to some of those more interesting questions in a moment. But first, we want to tell us a bit about the business and why they're stopping Salt Lake City today, this week.
Sure. So Unclaimed Baggage is the nation's only retailer of lost luggage. So we have contracts with all of the major airlines. And once a bag has been lost for at least 90 days after a search for the owner, then the traveler is compensated, and then we buy those lost suitcases from them, bring them back to our facilities in Alabama, sort through the contents, and on average, we donate a third, recycle a third, and then sell a third, either in our retail store in Alabama or online at unclaimedbaggage.com. But we just celebrated an incredible milestone. We were founded in 1970, so we are honoring a 50th anniversary in business with a 50-state road tour, bringing the Unclaimed Baggage story to all of the states this summer.
Okay, what a cool business idea to say, okay, we're going to do something with all of this lost luggage that has not been claimed. Just how many lost bags every year make it to you guys?
So I don't have an exact number of lost bags, but what I can tell you is that the airlines are great at what they do. In fact, they reunite the travelers over 99.5% of the time with their lost suitcases, but even a fraction of a percent is going to add up quickly when you consider the number of people who travel every single day. But in our physical store in Alabama, we stock anywhere from up to 7,000 new items every single day on that sales floor. And online, we're stocking around 5,000 new pieces a week. So that kind of gives you an idea of the volume that we see.
Yes, if the airline connect 99.5% of the luggage to their owner, and then you still have that many pieces of luggage every single day, yeah, that's a bigger number than I would have thought. So it's a busy travel season, of course, with Labor Day weekend coming up. How can we help people avoid losing their bags? What tips do you have?
Sure. So my number one tip is always make sure you have that ID tag on there, on the outside and on the inside. And make sure all of your contact information is up to date, that you don't have an old phone number or a former address. And then lastly, if your bag does end up missing, then whenever you're contacting the airlines, make sure you're pointing out something very specific in that bag. Don't just say, you know, I have my white t-shirt or my pair of blue jeans. Make sure there's something that's easy to identify in there.
Okay, that's a simple step to make sure you have your label inside and outside of that, among the other tips you gave. Okay, so we only have about a minute left, but we need to hear some of the weirdest things you have found in some of these bags, because I'm sure you guys have seen it all.
Oh, yes. In over half a century, we have acquired a lot of unusual things, including a live rattlesnake, in my opinion, was the most shocking. He was tucked away in the inside pocket of a duffel bag. We have also found real human shrunken heads, full suits of armor. The most expensive thing we've ever sold was a men's platinum presidential Rolex watch that retailed for $64,000, and we sold it for $32,000. So all sorts of things wind up in Unclaimed Baggage.
Okay, so I just don't understand how they wouldn't have been searching everywhere, every day until they got some of these items that you're mentioning. I wouldn't have stopped until I found them. Very interesting. Okay, so tell us where people can go for more information and how, if they have lost this luggage years ago, here you are in Salt Lake, maybe it'll be their lucky day.
Right, yes. Just simply type in unclaimedbaggage.com and find out anything you need to know.
Thank you so much for your time here today. And again, just such an interesting business model, and a lot of people will be able to hopefully find something that they have missing. Thanks again, Sunny. We appreciate your time. Coming
Thanks for having me.
Making